So today on Secret Kitchens, we're making a Mediterranean tart. Mediterranean because of all the different flavors, the olives and the peppers and the onions. This one has za'atar on it, and this one has Everything Bagel Seasoning. I mean, these things, not only do they look good, they're going to taste good, and I'm going to make this for you right now. All right, today I'm going to make what I am calling is a Mediterranean galette or a Mediterranean tart. It's got a lot of, with olives and peppers and cheese and tomatoes. And this is one of those, what I would call those no recipe recipes, where you can modify it based on your own taste and what you've got in the fridge. So I'm actually going to make two of them, but let me start with this one. My puff pastry, which is thawed. And I got to work quickly because there's a lot of lights here. I'm going to take my paring knife and I'm going to score my puff pastry because this is going to make it visually very pretty, like so, and whoa, like so. All right, you see that in the camera, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a base of ricotta cheese. How much? This is probably 3/4 of a cup, maybe close to a cup. I'm just going to get it across the bottom. This is my base. Whatever kind of ricotta you want, whether it's whole milk or not. All right, you want to be fairly generous with the ricotta cheese. And actually, I'm just going to switch to an offset spatula, which I just think is easier to work with. Should have done that in the first place. Okay, so there's my ricotta cheese. All right, and what I'm going to do is definitely going to add a little salt and pepper. And this is to taste. You do you. Okay, and now I'm going to lay out some. I have a medley of heirloom tomatoes, and I cut them in half, and I'm going to put them down this way. Totally random. That's the beauty of stuff like this. Okay, then I've got some red onions that I sliced thinly. And, again, however much you want, this is your tart. My oven is preheating to 400 right now. Already that tastes good. Okay, and now, of course, listen, I think olives are their own food group. So I took some Kalamata olives and some green, nice big green olives, and I cut them up, drain them well, because you don't want liquid on here. I'm going to put my olives on here. So this is probably about a half a cup of olives. One for me. Okay, and then I've got some yellow peppers that I sliced nice and thin. You can see why, to me, this is a no recipe recipe. This is going to be delicious, and you do it your way. All right, and then I even have some mushrooms. What the heck? We love our mushrooms in this house. So I'm going to stick some mushrooms in here. Now, of course, we're going to put some cheese on it. But before we do that, I'm actually going to make two of these tarts. This particular one, I am going to season with Everything Bagel Seasoning. Because if you've watched me, you already know of my love for Everything Bagel Seasoning. And I do love it. And I think it enhances everything. I absolutely love it. All right, now, this is some mozzarella cheese that I grated up. All right, you can use whatever cheese you want. I want this to be nice and melty and cheesy. And I'm just going to cover this up. This is probably going to be in the oven about, I don't know, I'm going to check it in 20 minutes. That might be all it takes. Again, it always depends on your oven. All right, this looks awesome. I'm going to get this one in the oven. I'm going to make another one just like this because I'm going somewhere and I want to bring them one of these. And the other one, my oven's preheated. I'm going to use my za'atar. and some extra sesame seeds for kind of a different flavor, but it's still going to have the Mediterranean vibe. All right, so let me get the other one done, and I'll show you what it looks like when everything comes out of the oven. All right, back in a little bit. Okay, my Mediterranean tarts are done. You know, I told you I was making 2 of them. This is the one, they're basically the same, but this one has Everything Bagel Seasoning, and this one has za'atar and sesame seeds. They both, the smell is heavenly. That's all I can tell you. So they were in the oven probably close to 30 minutes. Again, everyone's oven is different. So let's see what we got here. Another reason to keep puff pastry in the house, so that you can whip something up really quickly. All right, this is pretty hot. Let me cut this up a little more. This looks good. It's hot though, it's hot. Okay. So I have that layer of ricotta on the bottom, nicely seasoned with salt and pepper. The puff pastry is nice and flaky, crispy on the edges. I have the onion. The Everything Bagel Seasoning, there's so much going on there in the flavor-wise. The olives, the tomatoes, this is really delicious. Absolutely delicious. I'm bringing this one to a friend later. They're gonna love it. I'm not even gonna cut into this one. That's the one with the za'atar. I think you're going to really love this. It's super easy to do. You don't have to do it the way I did it. Use whatever ingredients you happen to have in your fridge. All right, we will see you next time on Secret Kitchens of New Jersey. You keep me inspired. I appreciate it. Keep your comments coming. They really mean a lot to me. And just get in the kitchen and cook. This is so delicious. You gotta make this.